The Bantrol system is not at war. Bantrol was never, until recently, a wealthy colony. The planet had resources enough just to maintain its own small society, but none worth exporting. There was never any need for the corporate sponsors of its initial colonization to interfere with its administration. In the halls of Solar Union commerce, land shares on Bantrol traded for nothing, no cost, no gain. You might throw all of my land shares on Bantrol into your golf wager as a joke, or give them as a prank gift to a friend. Recently, though, there was a minor development in an obscure biochemical processing technology, and the novel features of Bantrol's ecosystem went from being a scientific curiosity to being an untapped and unknowably deep wellspring of wealth. Land shares on Bantrol are no longer an ignored asterisk in anybody's balance sheet. The handover administration and power from the descendants of Bantrol's initial Terran colonists to the newly interested legal right holders, the self-proclaimed landowners, has been cheerful, orderly, and mutually profitable. There have been a few isolated spats, of course, but there's been practically no protracted, bitter, bloody war of resistance between the displaced old Bantresh aristocracy and the off-world landowners. And when landowners use the threat of violence to force hereditary great families to give up their land, keeping them on as guides and entertainers, it's cheerful. And when they offer them in exchange a negligible sum, it's mutually profitable. And when fiery companies of Bantresh irregulars respond by raiding their holdings and seizing arms and materials against future battles, and local insurrectionists take advantage of the upset by forcibly occupying biochemical processing facilities, and the landowners respond with ruthless crackdowns and martial law, these are a few isolated spats. To admit otherwise would invite the intervention of the Terran Transit Authority's mediation and its peacekeeping forces. Then no one would get rich from Bantrol but the TTA.
Okay. Well, last time we left off with something important to do. So rather than doing a solitaire, Bryn, how have we come to be stealing time together? And also, Sash, when do you come in? Normally it's only one on one, but come on, Sash. You gotta be
Hmm.
there.
There's some things going on.
Are you like shooting your way into my prison cell, or are you sneaking your way into my prison cell?
Bit of both.
I'm
Let-
pure sneaking.
Let's just say when if you're still in your cell when I get there, you definitely hear a scuffle on the outside. You hear laser pistol fire. You hear a body hit the floor.
Nice. Yeah, Bryn is not trying to escape. She has nowhere to go.
Okay. So then we come to be stealing time in your cell. That's cool. Um I've told you what you've heard. I'll also do the notice real quick. So what you notice is that your cell opens and it's not the guard. You see a man dressed in a black wetsuit with a black mask and a rebreathe. Well, the rebreather's around his neck. You probably don't recognize him until he speaks because his voice is pretty distinctive. But
Yeah, is
he's
it the same one where Ray visited me when I was in my bubble? He just swam out.
no, it's a different wetsuit.
It's a different one. Okay, I don't think I recognize it then.
No, but you could probably recognize his eyes. You definitely will recognize his voice when he speaks, and he's probably going to speak pretty quickly. But I'll leave that for when we actually start the scene. And he's also holding a blaster pistol in his hand that's been recently fired, and he has um a laser pistol wound in his left shoulder.
Nice. Definitely a little tall for a stormtrooper. Um, I think when you look inside Bryn's cell, like you probably had to look through several cells and several fake cells to find her, depending on how good Silver's intel was. Um, but you
I
just
mean, I'm going to be honest. Silver was it. He had directions to the correct cell unless somebody chained them after Silver left the prison.
Mm.
Her intention was for him to get you free.
Okay.
But you don't know that.
I don't know anything.
No,
I
you
definitely don't
just
know that.
know there's somebody here. Dangerous.
Curled up like in her bed, with her blanket. She just has one arm, so it's kind of like hard to hug yourself with one arm. I think you would notice that like a lot of the stuff in the room looks like it's been tipped over. It doesn't look like there was some violence or anything. Like all the books are still on the shelves. Nothing's been broken. They're just like pictures are not straight, and like the vases are tipped over. Chairs aren't straight at the table. Bryn is it's going to look up, not recognizing Ray. She is going to be holding her right eye with her hand because her head is like pounding.
Okay. Have we heard anything about Sash?
Probably not since last time.
Okay. And we'll leave the notice for when you come into the scene, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I shoot out the cameras first. May I?
Yeah, you may.
So I shoot out all the cameras with the laser pistol, and then I look at Bryn laying on the bed holding her head, and I say, "Is this what you wanted? It all play out exactly how you thought?"
Ray.
I roll my eyes. This is why I shot out the cameras.
You got my message.
Your message?
I guess.
What message?
I guess it did. You didn't.
No.
Then why are you here?
What do you think? I walk over to you. I grab your wrist, may I?
You may. Which wrist are you grabbing?
The one that exists?
Oh yeah, you're right. The one that exists. Oh man, it's so hard to have one arm. I should like tie a ribbon around my hand. Remember, I don't have it. Yeah, you may.
Okay. I want to pull you out of your bed, may I?
You may.
Okay.
I think when you do, you see like flecks of blue in Bryn's right eye.
Oh. Well, that's a problem. For another day. I look around your room and I say, "You don't have anything you need to take, do you?"
Yeah, hold on. And assuming you let her go.
Yeah, I'll let you go.
She goes over to the couch and she like reaches in between the cushions and she pulls out something in her hand. Ray, I can't go with you, but I want you to have this. And she opens her hand to reveal the power, the ring from Peak Zenith she got last time. It's deactivated. She says as much. Hasn't been imprinted yet. But you could use this to get access to all of the Peak Zenith files.
I walk up to you and I take the ring, may I?
You may.
I grab your wrist again, may I?
You may, but Bryn looks more shocked this time.
That's fine. I say, "Come on," and I start pulling you out of the room, may I?
You may. I guess Bryn doesn't fight too much. She's like, I can't go with you, Ray. I'll be
You'll be what?
What's the word? I'll never. Shit. What is the word? It's the word where you're like ejected from society. And you're always on a run.
Ostracized?
Kind of like that. Yeah, fugitive's the word.
Okay.
I'll be a fugitive.
Not for long. You've changed the game, Bryn.
I didn't tell anybody anything.
You killed someone. You blew up the orphanage. Or if you didn't, they did.
He had it coming. And I didn't blow it up.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I pull you along. May I?
You may.
I pull you out of the room. You see the dead body of the guard who was guarding your cell. He's sprawled on the floor with a blaster wound through his head. I pull you past that and down the hallway.
Yeah, she's a little shocked at that.
On the second hallway, you find me following you.
Do I recognize you?
I think now that I recognize that jetpacks are the devil and I've discarded it, yeah, you do
I think
recognize.
it's instinctively raise my pistol at you when I see you, but then I realize it's you and I kind of go like this and point it up instead.
Yep.
I stop. I look for cameras. Do you think I see any?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't say
I
anything, but I'm holding Bryn's wrist pretty tightly.
yeah, I don't get shocked and say hello like I normally would because of the situation. So instead, I just silently walk towards the both of you,
Okay.
just kind of not looking at the gun, but keeping my eye on it, just in case something's changed that I haven't really recognized.
That's fair. You've experienced a lot of kind of game-changing intel.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I just kind of stand there. I don't let Bryn go. I'm just kind of standing there. I think I lower the gun
Hmm.
as you approach, but I don't let go of Bryn because I'm worried she's gonna slip back to her cell or something stupid. I don't trust you
Might.
anymore. I'm like, you're a dumb kid. I need to like just herd you out of here.
I'm not saying anything, but I give both of you a thumbs up.
um, all right. I think I give you like a nod. And then I start to extract Bryn. Bryn, I pull you along towards the exit, may I?
Yeah, you may. Yeah, Bryn is pretty shocked to see. Pretty shocked to see Sash here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but I don't have time to deal with that right now. I glance behind to see if you're coming, Sash.
I'm probably like chasing at a brisk pace at like a walk, and
Mhm.
then I think I pass you
Okay.
and then like start going ahead of you. But since we're in a hallway, I'm going to ask may I at the end of it because you could perfectly just be like,
I don't think I have any reason to stop you, so no, you may.
cool.
Um,
That's also a question to Bryn too.
yeah. Well, Bryn kind of doesn't have an arm to. I guess she could body block you.
No. Yeah, no, Bryn doesn't want to come with, but she is also not going to do anything that would get either of you caught. So she's not getting in the way or dragging her feet.
Okay. All right. I think because we both brought people here, Sash, and I think because of that, we've been able to kind of like secure the area and create a safe path to extract Bryn. So I think I pull you outside of the facility, Bryn. May I?
Yes, you may.
I tuck the laser pistol underneath my arm and I start to put a rebreather mask over your face. May I?
Oh, you may.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Bryn can really do anything.
I mean, she can say stuff.
She can, but now she's in front of Sash too, and she's like, I think you catch like the beginnings of like the mistrusting of Sash.
Like Sash doesn't trust Ray.
Like Bryn doesn't trust Sash.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Real.
And
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, I think Bryn is just going along with this.
Okay then. I want to put on my own rebreather mask. May I?
You may.
All right. I think at this point we're right up next to the membrane that separates the airspace from the water space. Bryn, I want to wrap my arm around your waist. May I?
You may.
I let go of your wrist to do so, and I say, "You better hold on."
Oh yeah, Bryn will wrap her arm around your shoulder if she may.
You may. And I think once you do that, I pull you into the water space. May I?
You may.
And then I turn on my jets, if I may. I know
Of
this is
course.
weird.
You're asking me for a lot of things that I'm okay with.
I
You
mean,
may not.
that's fine. That's how most of my stealing times are. I'm like, yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
This is where I say, but you may, but only if you let me come along and
Oh, right, because you've
squeeze
discarded your.
first.
Sorry, what? I talked over you.
Only if you let me squeeze in between the two of you first, so that I can hold on and actually get out of here.
Hold on. I have to look at the stealing time together.
Because
Moves.
normally I'd take a side, but my face is visible and I want to hide from anybody seeing me. So I'm kind of like pushing my head at you. So that
Oh,
it's hard to
okay.
see my face.
Yeah, you may do that. Yeah. That's
Okay.
fine. But I think I've got like one arm around Bryn's waist, and then the arm that has the laser pistol is around your waist. And
Totally.
then we just kind of jet through the water. We end up coming onto a vaguely familiar mech that we've seen from some time ago that may have been stolen by from a Bantrish night guard at one point.
Mm.
We stop there and I punch in the code to let us in. I think what happens is that when you board one of these mechs underwater, it creates like an air bubble for us to like kind of enter in onto a platform, and then we can go in, and then it kind of sucks the air back in.
That's cool.
I've been thinking a lot about how we would like, would it be like an airlock system where it vents out the water? Like, how would this work? And I think the air bubble thing is cool.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think you've probably modified this mech anyhow.
No comment. I think once we're inside, I let you both go.
All right.
Sash, what are you doing here? Are you coming to get Bryn?
I was.
Bryn kind of wants to slink into a corner and just let you two talk, may she? I don't know.
I mean, Bryn could probably ball herself up and try to make herself small. I imagine that's a thing that could happen. Hmm.
Sash can't say what they want to say to Ray in front of Bryn.
That's why the scene's so good, because
Mhm.
no one can talk to each
Exactly the
other.
same way.
Mhm.
Let's see. You may not actually, Bryn. You start to slink away, and instead, I grab your wrist to prevent you from withdrawing. May I?
All right, you may. Bryn
It's a
looks
little
pretty
bit.
irritated at it though.
That's fine. I'm grabbing you a little bit too tightly. Um, I think I pull off my mask, and you can see like I'm angry at you.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't.
she's afraid of.
Yeah, I don't say anything right away, but I like grab your wrist as you try to slink away, and I just kind of pull off my mask and I kind of glare at you. I'm not meaning to glare at you, but I can't keep it off my face because I'm so pissed off.
Yeah, Bryn just glances at your sidearm. And
What were
glances
you
back.
thinking? What were you hoping would happen by doing this?
I was trying. I thought if I had proof.
I already have proof.
You have proof. But you told me
I didn't then.
not
I do
not to.
now. I told you not to do anything. I told you to get Silver to quit and to get out of there.
I thought if I had proof I could convince her. I thought I could convince everybody.
And instead, you got yourself locked up in jail, and now a lot of people are going to die. Why does nobody listen to me? Doesn't matter. I let go of your wrist.
How is my being there going to get people killed?
It's not you being there, Bryn. It's that you killed the director. You went digging, and now they know that we know. And now we have to act. I can't stop it anymore. You can't go home. You can't go home.
And Brenna's thinking of like going back to her family as home, not to her
Shit.
house. She's like, not now.
That's the first place they'll look for you. You need to get out of the city. I turn and I look at Sash. You need to get out of the city too. Find Amphi. Find Silver. You all need to get out. The
I
sooner the
can't
better.
for one of those.
We're looking too. We'll find him.
When?
I don't know.
Bryn knows exactly where he is, but he's just looking at Sash, making sure they don't know.
Jeez.
I'm inappropriately like staring forward and doing an act that neither of you exist. May I?
Yeah, you may.
You may, but I find it kind of hurtful.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so Bryn looks away from you.
Um,
So you pulled me out of prison, and then I'm just going to run away on my own hide.
You have Sash and Silver. Silver's the one who wanted me to get you out.
What? She's the one who locked me.
Did you give her much choice? She said there were witnesses.
Yeah, her soldiers.
Exactly.
They already knew all of it.
Silver didn't. I believe that.
No, you're right. I thought she knew.
She does now.
So I can't say anything, but now the secret's out.
The secret's out because of what you did. I didn't want this to happen. But then you go in with your sword, you decapitate a man, you attack Silver. What am I supposed to do? You changed everything with your digging.
I had to.
You didn't. That's the thing. You wanted to. I told you not to. I told you to quit. That's all I wanted. I think I made a mistake. I shouldn't have told you. Sorry that I did. I thought I could trust you to be smart about it.
I was just done what? Went back home, go back to being the good little boy my parents want me to be. Watch my brothers and my sisters start families and do nothing as their children got sick and died. Knowing I could have done something.
Doesn't matter. Can't change the past.
Not going to change the past. If you have evidence, give me the evidence. Let me take it.
No, that's not how we're playing this anymore.
Now we're going to kill people.
I'm going to try not to. You say that as if you haven't killed your own people. There's blood on all of our hands. I glanced to Sash. I don't know if that's true about Sash or not. I just kind of glanced.
That's totally true. Do you remember what happened to Sash's dad?
Oh yeah, totally. But I wasn't there, so Ray doesn't know.
Yeah.
But I say there's blood on all of our hands, and I kind of glance to Sash like, is there? Well, whatever. Listen, I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to see you again. So, I'll say this again, please, for your own safety. Get out of the city. You can have this mech if you want. I don't have any need for it. It should still have the hookups. I think I saw some on your wrist. I don't know if it'll work with one arm, but maybe Sash can help you.
Give the same thumb up again.
Okay.
And then I speak up.
Mhm.
Ray, I know the kind of people that you come from have a sentiment about corporations that they're huge and impossible and blah, 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 blah. But I'm me, and there are some big things coming up, and we know from the friends that we have that they aren't the monolith that we think they are.
I appreciate Sash, I can't stop this. I'm not the one in control. I'm not the one making the decisions. I can't stop it anymore. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. All I can
It's
do
like
is try to.
the foundational signal and you're the delay. And this is Sash making an obscure music metaphor. Like all the thoughts are in their own mind and you're just like you're saying something that they've been thinking a lot, which is that they're not in control of it anymore and like it's already happening.
Exactly. I just kind of nod.
Mhm.
Um, I look away from you, and then I make myself look back, and I say, Sash, I don't know if I'm going to see you again either.
We'll see each other again. That's what I'm saying.
I kiss you, may I?
You may.
Since we've established that you're good at picking up on emotional cues and whatnot, you can tell I'm kissing you goodbye.
Which is why when our lips part, I
Mhm.
say, I can tell you're taking this as my hope. I'm not hopeful about this at all.
Goodbye, Sash. Take care of Silver, and Bryn. I look at Bryn, and my eyes narrow just a little bit, like I'm still a little mad at you.
Mhm.
But then I say, Bryn, you don't have to go back to your parents. You can do whatever you want, but please, for once, just fucking listen. And then I break off and depart.
I wait until you're in like the tingling of my earshot,
Mm-hmm.
and then I say, "See you soon."
I just go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think once Ray's outside of the mech, Sash hears Bryn just say, "That's some lovesick little girl."
I know. Is that where the game ends, or do you have more to say?
Mm, yeah, this is the game in there.
Okay.
Cool.
I gotta admit, that's a pretty good line for the game to end on.
Yeah. I like that scene. That was a good one. Okay.
Yeah. So then it's me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we change from the bright blue background to lots of darkness and then fluorescent blue against like dark metal and crates. We've never seen this place before, but we've seen a person there before. Sash is in this basement on their comms device, and we hear a voice on the phone that is very familiar that's saying, "Hey Sash, I couldn't say anything to you there for a while because it wasn't safe. I was spotted, but I'm glad that I can finally tell you where I am. What I've been doing is," and like that fades away as Sash takes the phone away from their ear. And then we hear like the beep of them hanging up on Amphi right before he tells them where he is and what he's doing. And then Sash uh, goes to a vault, um, really quickly puts in a code, like they've done it a million times, turns the broad iron bars of the vault, opens it up, and starts taking out crates. And then the next scene we see is just zooming back away from a warp gate. And then we see Sash's mobile frame carrying like these little black buoys that have some density. So what happens is Sash's frame goes forward and lets go of one of the buoys, and then it goes up to align with the warp gate and then stays there. That's my scene.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's gonna make it me. And just in time, I figured out what my game is.
Yay.
Awesome.
So, from there, we cut to some like we have like the blinking lights on this buoy, right? And we kind of focus in on that for a second, and they blink extra bright, and now the blinking lights is that of a club where like the dance music is going, and there's like a dance floor and everything, and we pull away from the ceiling where all these lights are going over to a corner booth where we see Silver and a number of her crew drinking in this nightclub. And where is my list of people? Yeah, we see Shadow and Graham. We also see Mr. Chavez, who was the person that she was dressing down in a solitaire a few times ago. And we also see a couple women and a shorter man who is like sitting directly across the table from Mr. Chavez, but they're definitely making eyes at each other. And like we see Silver sitting there with like 3 or 4 beer glasses out in front of her. As like this entire table, it's like a low table, is just completely covered with drinks. Her and her crew have been kind of partying here, and at what point Mr. Chavez gets up and heads out to the dance floor, and very shortly thereafter Mr. Mole slinks out of the booth and goes out to the dance floor, and Silver kind of like glances out there and like watches them dance together for a second, sighs, and like drinks some more. It gets to be quite late. We have kind of like this montage of drinking at the bar, seeing what her subordinates are doing. They're Mr. Chavez, Mr. Mole are dancing together. Some of the others are hitting on the locals. Eventually, we get to the point where it's time to leave for the evening, and as the entire kind of crew files out of the bar, they only get like about a block before like this gang of street thugs like steps out of an alley and starts like one of them has like a billy club and starts like pushing Mr. Chavez in the chest, since he was like the first in this line of all of them. They start these locals start yelling and screaming and blaming these Peak Zenith pigs for what happened to the orphanage, and start threatening to violence on them. And Silver, who looks to be like she may be a little bit drunk, pushes her way up to the front. And she's tiny, and these guys are a little bit taken aback because she's just like kind of stumbling up towards them, and so they're like, oh no, is she just, you know, an innocent bystander in all this? But she winds up getting like right up in punk number one's face, just like right there, and she looks up at it, and she says, like, as close as she can get to him, and to the point where it's a little bit intimidating just because you're invading personal space, even though she's just very small. But she says, "You don't intimidate me. And if you don't think that I'll put you in jail just for being here on this street, you've got another thing coming." And just like the intensity in her gaze, this guy breaks. Because she obviously is on the cusp of doing something stupid. And this guy sees that, also sees, and she wasn't brandishing it or anything, it was definitely not on purpose, but that she has a holstered laser pistol in her jacket pocket, in her, like, under her jacket. And those two things together were enough for, like, because he was, like, looking right down her shirt, practically. Which is probably the only reason he spotted it. But anyway, the point is, she manages to get them to back off, but in a way that is kind of creepy and really puts off her subordinates. So, that's my scene. All right, Bryn. All right, nope, you're muted again.
Quadruple muted.
Quadruple muted.
I was
yeah.
triple muted. Okay. I want to do conversation over food.
With whom?
With Silver and with Stash.
Oh.
Ray's not invited, but I understand if you crash this party.
I don't think so, because I've said my goodbyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be having this get together. It's not like a party. It's at the food court. Bryn now owns. Let me open up the game.
Who is your official chosen partner in this?
I think it's Silver.
Okay. So how did we come to be stealing time together? Did you give me a call, or?
Oh yeah, you got a call.
Okay.
It was like probably a private call.
We are still in a comms blackout. I forgot. I
Oh,
wanted
we
to
are?
do something during
Oh.
my stealing time. So can I retroactively do a thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Before I left, I gave Sash a data stick. It basically has a way for you to circumvent the blackout. It's basically, I brought it to your information that the rebels are responsible for the blackout. Here's a data stick, so you can use that to use rebel channels, but be careful when you use it, because it could get discovered by Peak Zenith, and that would be bad. So if you wanted to use that to help Bryn or whatever, that's fine. But I forgot about the comms blackout until just then, when you're like, "Oh, we got a call." I'm like, "Oh, did you?"
I forgot about the comms blackout until just then too. It was a whole important thing that happened last
Yeah, I
time.
mean, we destroyed Amazon, so not really a reason for comms blackout anymore.
Oh, there's a reason. There's rebel reasons now.
I have a question.
Sure.
Am I still using that communication method to siphon more explosives to the rebels, or have I already given you all of the explosives that I have and I just had some left over?
That is totally up to you. If you have more explosives you want to give us, we will take them.
I think I have a little more.
Then yeah, we will still take them. We need all of the plastic explosives.
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so do you use the rebel channels to get a hold of Silver? I feel like-
Does Sash share the riddle chalice? That would be the most expedient way.
You know what? I think what it is that local communication you can still have, but you can't communicate outside the city. How about that? And you can't
Okay.
communicate off planet.
Yeah, okay.
So like that. Let's do that so that way we can make it a little bit easier for you guys.
Sure.
Well, I don't want it to be easy. I want hard decisions.
The important thing is that we don't want them to be able to communicate outside of the city or off planet. So
Right.
You know what it is?
what's up?
Each comms device these days has a contingency factor where you can use it as a shortwave radio.
Oh yeah, that would totally work. So maybe you're able to get in touch with her once you're in a close proximity.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Oh yeah, it's not shortwave radio. It's laser. So it has to be an unbroken line of sight.
Nope.
You
And-
spot her across the way and you're like, Silver.
Exactly. I think it's like a pre-recorded message. It goes, it's digitally encoded, and just like she gets in range of one of my soldiers, and instead of a sniper rifle, it's a laser digital
Laser
file
communication.
transmitter.
Hmm.
Love it. Okay. Does it
That's like,
say that it's from Bryn?
yeah, it's you can see Bryn and Bryn talking, and
Oh, okay.
it's like, hey, come to dinner. I want to talk and apologize.
Just to clarify, is this food court in the building where your apartment is, where
No.
I've been told specifically not to go? Okay, good. Just checking.
It is one of the several properties Bryn has bought.
Okay. Then yeah, I will meet you at that location.
Cool.
Same here.
All right. So let me just tell you, since it is Bryn has bought this place,
Mm-hmm.
it's turned into like a headquarters for her soldiers. So you would go in there and you would see the hallways are wider, and it kind of smells like a mech bay, but there is hospital gurneys, and maybe you would see maybe you see the androids repairing other androids, and then one of them needs Bryn's help, and so she teaches them how to do a repair.
Interesting.
And then we go to the food court, and the food court's not being used, but they kept it around in case they did have humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's so just imagine all the tables are stacked up, maybe a couple of them have been pulled down. I imagine Bryn has at this point some kind of skeletal cheap ass robot arm, and she is probably microwaving hefty meals or something. She's got the skillet going, and she pours the pre-cooked food in the skillet.
It's canned SpaghettiOs.
No, it's better than that, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do we notice about each other, and what have you heard? I heard you got out of prison.
Yes. And Bryn doesn't need any technology to interface with her mechs anymore.
Ooh.
That's cool.
You've heard that Peak Zenith burned down an orphanage.
I heard about that.
Yeah, you heard about that.
It's Peak Zenith now? Okay. I think it changes every time someone tells the story.
Yeah, it's well, they can't get anything off planet, but local papers are saying it was a mysterious arson. Some papers are saying that it was Peak Zenith itself. Some papers are saying that it was the director acting independently, that he'd gone crazy. There's
Some were saying it was the rebels.
I mean, that one gets discounted every time. yeah, there's like 50 different stories going around about what happened in the orphanage. Let's see. I think Silver is probably dressed in one of her off-duty dresses. So it's probably something long, light, and flowy.
Ooh.
As is her style. What about Sash?
As far as Sash personally, you haven't heard a lot, but about Sash's faction, you've heard that there's the five noble families of Skyphos are joining like they do every year for a summit called the Hand of Skyphos Summit. And I think they have a lot to talk about because there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, that sounds right. Cool. So who's there first? Like, Bryn is already there, but I guess Silver arrives first, or is Sash already there also?
I think it's eerie that Sash arrives first. Like, by the time you're there, I'm already in like that black asphalt like parking lot spot where that you know when the comms blackout first started and all my people joined it together in one spot? We've nixed this spot as our meeting place, but I'm just still here because I know where it is and I needed time alone, and I was here before you got here.
Did I know you were going to be here? Bryn, did you warn me that Sasha was also going to be here?
I don't think she named who was coming, but she definitely would say like us. Like, just because she would assume us.
Okay, yeah.
But she didn't send an invitation to Ray.
Right, of course. I think Silver arrives in like an Uber or whatever, and sees Sash. I'm like, you're in a car?
No.
Okay, you're just
I'm just
there
standing in the parking lot. It's weird.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess she's just gonna come up to Sash and like probably just silently up nod and then like head inside and assume you're just gonna come with.
Yeah, I actually like put my hand out to like take your hand and lead you along.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And then we go in.
Awesome. Who has the lowest social standing in this situation?
I honestly don't know. Who is the most bossy in this situation?
I mean, Silver wants to know what's up.
Yeah.
But she's also willing to like demand to know what's up. So
yeah.
I will say I kind of feel like Silver has the lowest social standing because of your affiliation with Peak Zenith, but that's just me.
I mean, that is true, especially with this surrounded by robots who probably aren't very fond of Peak Zenith either.
It does say in the fine print of the rules that if the only person who isn't in the scene, if he can't decide, then they get to vote for who.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, I'm fine.
I think it's Silver.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, yeah. I mean, we can't agree. I'll take your determination here.
Sure.
Your whim.
Maybe you get some like anti-Peak Zenith flack from the robots. I don't think they bother to speak English anymore, but maybe you speak binary.
I'm a nerd, but I'm not that kind of nerd. I mean, I speak math, but that's not the same.
Oh, math.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very different.
not encoded math.
Yeah, hmm. I mean, I guess, I'll just start having an improvised conversation with Sash as we're walking inside.
Cool.
So, she invited you here too?
Yeah, she did. I'm honestly glad to see you here.
There's a lot more going on than. Well, I, I'm glad to see you here too.
Mhm. And then, like, I think Sash nods for a while and then is like, I'm going to spare you my side of the exact same thing. Because I know what's going on with you, and I have even more of that going on, but I don't want to bring it up here unless Bryn starts talking about it.
Let's go
And then I
inside.
make a really goofy face, like, it's almost like the Finley from Hustle Cat.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I think that's a good conversation. So
Yep.
we head inside.
Yep.
Okay. How do we want to go then? I guess I can go next.
Sure.
Um. Yeah, I need to convince Silver that I'm not gonna try and kill you again, can I? She's like, Silver, I'm sorry, like, I didn't understand.
I didn't understand either. I
I really should have. I should have just talked to you instead of jumping to conclusions.
We all could have done a lot of things differently. But that's in the past now. I hope you can forgive me for what I had to do.
No, you did the right thing.
I don't see any other way you would have gotten out of there alive.
Okay, I wasn't talking about that, but okay. I think there's a next. Now that moves over.
Mm-hmm. I say, how do I phrase this? I kind of break in and I'm like, well, I'm glad that we're all here and we're all together because I don't feel like there's a lot of time left. And I'm trying to keep you occupied while there's clearly a lot of tension between the two of you. Do you go for it? And I'm kind of picking both of you as my partner.
Yeah, I think
Not
I'll let you
really.
distract me.
Yep.
I see. Okay.
Like counting your blessings. Yep. Mm-hmm. So then it would be Silver again.
Um. Let's see. Bryn, I need you to reassure me that you're going to listen to Ray and leave the city. Can you? Bryn, I know we've been through a lot, but you should really listen to Ray and get out of the city for a while.
I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I can't stay here and fight. I think I'm going to try and take as many people with me as I can. I don't know what Ray's planning, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be safe.
Don't start some mass hysteria. It's gonna be worse for everyone.
It's people I can trust to do what I say.
All right then. Does that make it, Bryn?
Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of what I was deciphering too.
Took me a second to remember that was my question.
Yep.
Sash, I think something gives you away to me about your suspicious plans. What is it? Is it the very obvious buoys?
Yeah.
Am I able to link them to you?
I don't think so.
They don't just have your house crest sitting on them.
No, they do
Just
not.
stamped.
That's why they're like all covered in black.
So I think Bryn's just like, those buoys. I knew that the rebels were well funded, but what are they doing? Are they mining the warp gate?
And then I pop in with, you can't mine a warp gate.
Not usually.
And then I'm just like making like this sort of gesture.
I think Bryn goes into this like theoretical mathematic tangent about how maybe it'd be possible, but no one's ever done it.
So while you do that, I pass to talk about the food, and I bring back a notorious flask that we've seen before. And I, while you're talking, I just start drinking, and it's just, and I'm just like, better than before. I'm glad and then I like move it across to the other side of me to like position it correctly with my dominant hand. And I'm like, maybe buying a full flask at a silent auction was not a good idea, but the alcohol that's in there now is choice, so I can make things work.
I'll take a swig.
Okay.
I think that's a good time for my segue of passing and talking about the food, when I'm like, so Bryn, what are you cooking? It smells surprisingly good, even over the metal shop aesthetic.
So it's freeze-dried shrimp over Bantraphyll rice, which is probably purple for some reason. All right. I think I'm accidentally going to spill the secret that I know where Amphi is. I think
to which one of us are both?
To Sash. I
Very
think
good.
she's talking about she's talking about conspiracies and stuff, and she's like, even House Mimosa seemed wrapped up in it. Amphi's. I was at the hospital. Amphi was checking me, and then she tries to change the subject to something else.
Mhm.
It doesn't go very well.
I let you change the subject.
Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna go off the list. After that, but totally not related to that at all, I slip into like this melancholic rant. Silver, do you pull me out of it? It goes something like, I have a lot coming up, and I really hope Ray doesn't destroy the cities that these plans that I don't want to go through.
Yeah, I think I definitely will step in. Probably like put some like hands on your face and make you look at me if I may. And
Yep.
and be like, this isn't the time to worry about that right now, Sash. We've got plans, and whatever happens it's not on Ray. And whatever happens, we can face it together.
I looked almost embarrassed until that last part. Now it's your turn.
Bryn, I need you to come clean about everything that you found out at the orphanage. Do you?
I think I do, but only if Silver's coming clean about what Ray told her.
Which part of what Ray told her?
I mean, I think it would be like, well, Bryn will talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's like in pieces, right? Like, well, Ray told me, he told you that
Do you want to just say we compare notes?
Yeah, let's say we compare notes.
Okay. All right. And yeah, I'm going to be like, well, Bryn, now that you're here and not in jail, we should figure out what this asshole of a company that I work for has been doing. Let's compare notes.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
So Bryn would tell I tell Silver that she's found out that some of the other employees of Peak Zenith are used to be employees of Pinnacle,
Mm-hmm.
and that some of them are trying to use Peak Zenith to double down the profits that they lost off on, based on potential media backlash.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely at least 3 other conspiracies involved with different aims. I don't know who's on whose side.
I don't know either anymore.
I know a lot of innocent people are going to die. And I thought there would be proof in that orphanage that I could show. Bring it all out in the open. Now we just have to hope that Ray
They've been
Ray said he
covering
had
this
proof.
up for 20 years.
He told me not to talk about what I already had found out. Then he tells you.
I think that the time for hiding is over.
I was going to give it all out, all up to protect you. Now if they know I know, they know. I've told both of you and Ray.
At this point, I don't think they suspect me in this. I don't think I'd have as... I don't think I'd be having dinner with you if they suspected my involvement.
You've got to keep it that way.
I nod.
Look at it, Sash.
Mm-hmm. I accidentally spilled the secret that I've slowly, over the course of a few months, and this has been really slow, so I've been covering it up gracefully, you might say. But I've been slowly toning down my bravado to the point where if you took an audio clip of Sash's voice right now and an audio clip of Sash's voice when they were at university, their voices are now exactly the same at this point. In the middle, Sash was doing the big bravado thing. Hey everyone, look at me, blah blah blah. But now it's back to the way it was because of all of the stuff that's happened. Have either of you picked up on it? Or has it been so slow that nobody notices?
I don't think Silver notices because I think she's chalked it up as to obtaining a more intimate relationship with Sash. That she believes it means that she's gotten past their front. If that's inaccurate, I don't think that Silver's picked up on that.
Yeah.
If there's a different reason for that change in tone around Silver, so I don't think Silver realizes that it's more universal than that.
Mm-hmm.
At least, yeah, that's how I picture it here from Silver.
Yep.
I feel like Bryn's been engaged with Sash as they're reinventing themselves. And she knows that Sash puts a lot of weight on appearances. I'm not sure that she would understand a deeper meaning to that.
Mm-hmm. I am also thinking that everything that he said is kind of correct. So, Silver, now it's your turn.
I need Sash to piss off Bren. Can you do it?
That's not my turn though. Do you
Oh,
want
is
it?
it your turn?
It is
My
my
bad.
turn.
I'm
I'm
bad
willing to
with
jump. I'm willing
turns.
to. I'm willing to take a step back and watch that though. These sure are good spaghettios. No, I want to see it. I want to see. I want to see this.
That would be such a good core conversation over food question. I just eat food and hope to watch you two fight. Do you?
Brilliant. Oh, that's so good. It has to be canon now.
I mean that's basically it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I eventually just blow up, and I'm like, Bryn, can you? Never mind. Never mind.
What?
Well, I told Silver about it, so
What?
I tried to keep this quiet the entire time when we were with Ray, but it's. Don't you feel it's weird between us now? I feel like we have bigger fish to fry, of course, but
That's what's bothering you? The relationship is in jeopardy? I mean, I brought us here to be honest with each other, but I feel like the fact that we can talk about this means more than who's kissing who.
I feel like I cross my arms and I just like tilt my head back up to the ceiling. And now at this point, I'm just like, oh, why did I explode like that? I should have kept myself under more control and not opened my mouth. And it was like pretty unnecessary anyway. So I'm just like,
I
didn't need to say any of
never,
that.
I'm never gonna be able to tell Ray how I feel. Like, you know, this started as a disguise, and I thought it was worth trying out, you know, being this person because it's who Ray knew, who I knew. I just, I don't, I'm not in love with. I just don't understand why I feel the way I do. I think, I think Ray does.
And then Sash is like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, now
And
I'm really.
yeah. And then they say, um, but it makes it really hard to tell who you actually are when you try on new people. And then they like make air quotes as though they're quoting you, but they're clearly misquoting you.
Right. Yeah, I think Bryn's offended enough. Good job.
Thank you, Silver. So now it's Bryn's turn.
Oh, now it's Bryn's turn. I hope to get both of you to commit to defending people as they evacuate the city.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. But I will reiterate that we can't just call for a massive evacuation, but when people are leaving,
somebody will once the shooting starts.
what I'm saying is we can't be the one to pull that trigger.
Right, I agree.
Either the shooting or the alert, like either one. No. But once it all begins, yes, I will be doing my damnedest to protect civilians.
Cool.
I don't know how Sash feels about that, but
as for Sash, I think they actually have a plan in mind, but it's a bit of a stretch, and like none of the pieces are in place yet. But there's a noble house that's not even a part of Skyphos. They just show up for the
meeting thingy.
For the meeting thing. The reason it's called the Hand of Skyphos is because like each house is a finger, and this house is the thumb. Because the joke about that is that they're not even in Skyphos.
But they're also very necessary.
Yep. So this house is House Jadok, and they run the entire surface portion of the city, and they have places that we could evacuate people to, because they're far away enough from the core of the city that
good, yeah.
Evacuate people. Yep.
Awesome. That makes it Sash's turn?
Yep. Okay, so I'm eating rice, and this is me talking about the food, but also you can tell that I keep making the motion with my hands sort of accidentally, kind of like counting each house. Jadok, Sting, Reef, Marinaza, Skypozo. You can see me do that in my head over and over and over again. Just bite of rice, open the hand again, count. And then it's Silver's turn.
I'm feeling generous. Bryn, what favor do you ask of me?
I think Bryn really just wants to work with Silver again. I think
Good luck.
She's like, that was a really good thing we had going on. I just betrayed you, and that's never going to happen again.
I can overlook a lot of things, but I cannot get you rehired at Peak Zenith. Now, I'd like to clarify, that doesn't mean we can't work together. Out of character, I'm just saying, if, Silver was no longer working for Peak Zenith,
right.
Just saying.
Yeah, but I think that is like the big thing that she wants that she cannot have. I think she also said like I'm confused why you had to send in Ray to get me out. Why couldn't you just drop the charges?
Politics are complicated. I feel like you may be a little out of the loop, Bryn, but after what you did, if I hadn't arrested you, someone else would. There's no way I could drop the murder charges when there were multiple witnesses. It was the only choice. It was that, or you face trial and get convicted of murder of the director, and I just... After what I've learned, I couldn't have that.
I would have been happy going to trial home and protecting all of you.
That kind of sacrifice wouldn't help anybody. You and your dedication to helping the people, that's something we need out here.
It's not something I can really do while those charges are still looming out there.
There's a lot you can do. Unfortunately, it would just be from the shadows.
I really don't know what that means. Like, that's not how society works. I think you can get the picture, like Bryn, like has always been on the right side of the law and doesn't know really like how to operate with like a criminal background. Like she knows how to hide and do sneaky espionage stuff, but not being able to live a normal life is like beyond her.
Yep.
That never even occurred to Silver. If you leave the city, you can easily become someone else. Someone that's not wanted by Peak Zenith or the law. Skyphos is not the only city on this planet. Besides that, I know you're a citizen of the Empire at large. You don't have to stay here.
I know that this would eventually boil down to a case of corporate law between Peak Zenith and Carnal Industries. how that works. And Ray said I only had to hide for a little while. I don't know what he's planning.
I don't know what he's planning either, but I trust him. Don't you trust him, Bryn?
Not right now. Not like this. Is there more moves, or should we?
I have my own to make.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it?
It is
I'm
your
trying
turn.
to cover up the fact that I've been providing plastic explosives to the rebels because I'm still using them, and if people know that, then it spoils my own plans. But does anybody pick up on it anyway?
How do you like, how does it come up? How do you see that spilling out?
Sash avoids the entire conversation that was happening between the two of you and goes completely silent. But if you two are keeping eye contact with each other, then that would mean that neither of you are looking at me, and you probably wouldn't catch that. But if you're avoiding each other's gaze at any point and looking to Sash for like comfort or to see my reaction or whatever, you might notice that I'm doing this thing where I'm looking down at the table and trying to, like, you might read my body language.
I definitely think that Silver was focused on Bryn.
Yeah, I think Bryn is also focused on Silver, but I think if I can, I think Sash would notice that we're being eavesdropped on by one of Bryn's soldiers.
Interesting.
Like an android hiding behind the wall or something. In the hallway.
Cool. Then I pass to Silver.
I will pass and talk about the food.
Yes.
This is good.
Isn't it too bad we don't have any mimosas?
Well, whatever Sash has passed around in that flask is pretty potent.
Pass it over to Bryn.
Yeah, I also pass. Talk about the food.
Cool.
All right, awesome.
Cool.
I think that last move is us just passing the flask around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Okay. That brings us to
Lavender.
you.
Yeah, it actually comes to me. I'm doing another conversation over food now. Like, we're at 10 o'clock, and normally we would have 30 minutes left, but this wouldn't be the first time that we've gone long.
We should talk about that now. Are we okay to go late?
I'd prefer not to because I still need to eat dinner.
Okay.
Okay.
Because this did run kind of long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long stealing time and then a long conversation. So.
Do we want to do a radical thing, which is a short conversation over food?
Okay.
Okay. Then in that case, so right as that last conversation over food ends, I invite you to this banquet for the Hand of Skyphos summit. That invitation wasn't sent to Ray again, but it was sent to Bryn and Silver, but I don't know if both of you come or not.
Yeah, I don't think Bryn will come.
Okay.
That was almost what I was expecting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Silver is very interested in this banquet and will attend. Do we
Mhm.
like arrive together? Like, what does the
Yes.
venue look like?
It looks like, imagine an Illuminati gathering and the sort of place that this would happen in. And that's it. It's probably like this huge, like sprawling hotel that's all rented out just for the noble houses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it sprawls out across multiple towers. With like
Bridges.
sky bridges going between them. Yeah.
Nice.
We arrive in like Sash's limousine, and I wear a dress for maybe the first time.
Mm.
I have to dress in the colors of my house, which are light blue and dark blue, and I think you do too. But what are you wearing in those colors?
Hmm. I definitely left my Peak Zenith ring behind.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. Um, I think she's wearing one of those dresses that has like one sleeve and then cuts down to no sleeve on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably in the dark blue that is um, somewhat reminiscent of her hair color,
Mm-hmm.
and then with like light blue piping and like maybe a belt, like a sash belt though, like and I picture it's not like tied. It has like some kind of like um like a cloak clasp,
Yeah.
like with a pin and a circle. I don't know if you're familiar with that kind of cloak clasp, but as the closing mechanism for holding this belt up.
Gotcha. Um, then I feel like I have the lowest social standing here just because of the situation.
I was gonna say it was me just because I'm coming into a noble thing and I am not noble.
I don't think I'm noble anymore either, though.
I
I think
don't
I'm
know that.
exactly.
Okay,
Which is
no,
kind of
go
why
ahead.
it's kind of why I wanted to make the first move, because a good
Yeah.
thing here is I make an ignorant social or diplomatic blunder, which is coming to this place at all, given the circumstances. Do you let me recover gracefully, or do you hold it against me?
um, I let you recover gracefully. I think I think that if I had suspected that this might have been the case, that I would have either not come or convinced you to not come. So this surprised me as well, but I don't blame you for being blindsided this for this.
Mm-hmm. I think we hear like the flaring of cameras. Like I get the most like paparazzi, but I also don't get any cheers, which most people do.
Mm. And you're sure it's not just because I'm on your arm?
That's a good thing too.
All right.
So it's your turn.
Um I hope we can find some common ground about um how to detangle Peak Zenith's interests here on Bantrol.
I mean, I'm totally down for that. At that like sort of like level of abstraction. because I think we shared the same interests,
Mm-hmm.
but I need like a specific plan for me to have like an objection to that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I didn't have anything to say. I was just gonna.
Yep. No, I'm fine with that. I don't have a
Okay.
specific plan just yet. Is what I was gonna say.
Okay, gotcha. Then I think you figure out what's going on with Sash. That there's secretly going to be like a trial, like a council trial held for Sash here.
Okay.
Something gives it away to you, but Sash doesn't pick up on it. What is it?
We're being tailed by armed guards.
Ooh.
Yeah, like we're like wandering around this party from buffet table to buffet table, or like looking at art pieces, and I notice out of the corner of my eye that yeah, we're being tailed by armed guards. They're following us specifically. And I
Mhm.
think Silver is a little bit concerned that it's about her. Like all of this stuff, she's concerned it's about her.
Mhm.
And she has a lot of reason to feel that way. I mean, she's been attacked in the street multiple times. You know, there's even when she's been in civilian dress, you know, that sort of thing. So she's definitely um, on high alert, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I was gonna say edgy, but on high alert it makes almost even more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't picture Silver being edgy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Um, I'm gonna start a conversation. I'm gonna mention it actually. Sash, I think we're being followed.
I mean, that sort of thing is normal here. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Are you sure it's alright for me to be here?
Yeah, I've
Good.
seen so many other people do exactly what I'm doing before.
So many people are giving us dirty looks. I'm afraid my reputation is going to harm yours.
And that's what makes Sash turn around, and then I catch. Um, so at these events, the squad alignment changes up because like normally people are in squads based on like within their own house, but at the summit, everyone teams up into 5-person squads, and I see like there's a squad of 5 people with in 5 different colors of like badges,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're looking at me and like they look away, and I pick up on it and I say, I'm, and then I just kind of like move us to a different banquet table.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and take a move. I think that was a conversation.
Mm-hmm. I pass, and we stop at an ice sculpture, and then I'm just like, can you imagine how difficult it was to sculpt this, because it's like an ice sculpture of a jellyfish and all of the stingers are really crisp
Mm.
and not abstracted at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wonder that this thing is still like holding up,
Mm-hmm.
staying cool.
It really is a marvel of technology and art. You're right.
And then I look over my shoulder again. It's your turn.
I hope to convince you that we can leave, like right now. Can I?
I think you can.
Look, Sash, let's just get out of here, okay?
Then I'm like, yeah. And I think what happens is, like, I take your hand and lead you along really briskly until we're like behind a pillar. And the part where the dark blue of my dress meets the light blue, I actually tear it away to reveal my my wetsuit uniform. And I hide my mask in my purse. And I completely change my appearance so that we can get out of here. And this is me leaving the conversation.
Yeah, I'll follow and get out of there. Well, that's good times. Good times.
I feel like I probably get stopped on the way out, but that's not here.
Fair. I think that I'm actually going to pull a golden and do a second solitaire scene.
Cool.
Especially since I've been in like every other scene so far. So let's see here. This is sometime indeterminate amount of time later, and Silver is wearing her like mech jumpsuit, and she is like kneeling on top of a building with a pair of binoculars, and she is tracking some of the revolutionaries who are using the explosives that were provided by Sash. And she's like watching them set them up and kind of like shakes her head like damn it, Sash, it's just gonna make things more complicated. And that's my solitaire scene.
Cool. I'd like to do a really quick and dirty stealing time together with Sash.
Sure
At
thing.
my house's basement.
Oh man.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Have I gotten Amphi out yet?
No.
Okay.
So how did you two come to be stealing time together? What do you notice about each other? What have you heard?
Yeah, I think Bryn would just invite Sash to come. I need to get some equipment out of my basement. You know, we're gonna need that equipment.
When is this though? That's my huge question.
So I didn't get to hear the end of your conversation over food.
Oh, we left the party, and Sash may or may not have been captured on the way out.
Yeah. We didn't nail that part down.
Okay.
This could still be after that, and either whatever happened there has happened, or or you didn't get
can
captured.
it happen Brenda captured you?
Yeah, totally. Actually,
What if Brent abducted you on the way out?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm abducting you, taking to my basement.
All right.
Yeah, you notice You definitely noticed Bryn was your abductor. And I'll figure out what exactly it looked like in the future when I listen to the VOD.
Yep. I'm in the wetsuit in my makeup, which is weird because I usually don't wear makeup.
Awesome. So I have this like image of Sash being in like some kind of force field cage in this dark room. And Bryn comes in and turns on the lights. She's like walking around you. And she's like, I knew you were supporting the rebels, but I didn't expect. So much duplicity from you.
Sash just looks like, you didn't? This isn't the first time I've been in this cage.
I pick up a chain and I want to attach it to your arm. May I?
You may.
This cage?
Out of a character, is this the same cage that we used on our night of debauchery?
No, this is not.
Okay. Then I just say, I just quirk an eyebrow and I'm like, well, I mean one like it.
That was a good time. Sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. And there's another chain. May I attach that to your other arm?
You may.
But I still can't let you get hurt. Even if that may seem contradictory to you now. I think there's like Bren will like pull a lever and we see these two energy coils rise up out of the floor and begin charging with lightning.
And the power cuts.
In between them.
Then the power cuts.
Uh-oh.
And you hear the sound of impact wrenches outside your door.
Okay. I think...
I'm interrupting the scene!
Okay, but Amphi falls out then.
Okay.
Between
I mean,
the...
We came for Amphi, and we're going to stumble across this.
Okay. Go.
All right, a door swings open. You can just see like this column of light kind of behind, like flashlights and stuff, and you hear like footsteps as like revolutionaries kind of sweep into this basement room. The flashlights are at the end of laser rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear very slow footsteps. The flashlight shines right in Bryn's face. Thought I told you not to come home. Well, this is awkward. Hello, Sash. Didn't think we'd be seeing each other so soon.
I'm out of surprises at this point.
Yeah. We see Ray just kind of nod towards Sash, and like one of his people starts to unfasten the chains from around you.
Mm-hmm. Sash is smiling the entire time, just like I am.
Okay.
Oh, this is my home. I thought you meant something else.
No, I meant don't come back here because we're going to blow it up. Oh, by the way, found your brother. I guess you did too. I just kind of gestured to Amphi like on the floor.
I roll my eyes.
All right, well, let's clear the building. Let's go.
Now that I am unchained, I pick up my brother. May I?
Yeah, you may. Bryn, we take you into custody, may we?
You may.
Gotta quit getting arrested, Bryn.
It's a really good strategy in role-playing games.
I think I leave the scene,
Mhm.
but I intend to take you all with me, unless you have more you want to talk about or do.
That all sounds good because we probably need to talk just a plan.
Okay, if you are planning on sticking around with me,
hmm
I tell you, there's something I have to take care of first. We have a safe place for you to wait, and then we can talk.
hmm
And I think, unless Bryn, you have anything you would like to say or do at the end of this?
If Ray and Sash are going off alone.
We're not.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
Sasha's being taken to someplace safe. If you have a moment where you want to say something to me, where Sasha's not around, you may. If you'd rather not, we can do this another time. I'm just giving you a moment before I say, let's go to
Okay.
my solitaire.
Yeah, so we have a moment alone. I think Bryn's just like, I really looked up to you, Ray. I wish it had been different.
I wish a lot of things had been different. But don't look up to me.
I feel like I'm gonna end up in your shoes one way or another.
You don't have to. Just leave. This isn't even your fight. It's not your planet.
Would you leave?
It's my home. Think about this. When I told you not to go home, you didn't even think of this place.
No.
Where did you think of? I don't think you thought of Mantrell.
I think you're right. Okay, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay, I think you get escorted off someplace else.
Yeah.
And we go to my solitaire. And this scene just continues. But now it's a solitaire scene because I've extracted everybody and they're all out of my way now. And we see Ray turn to one of his people and say, "So the building's clear now? Okay, good. All right, where are we doing this?" And he follows the person. They take them to, um, they like go into like a water space, but then they like go through the water space and then to, I'm not good at distances, so it's like a good distance away, but you can still see Bryn's building in the background as they come into another airspace. And it looks like it's like a temporary base that they've set up. Like it's not inside, it's outside, but it's got like one of those membranes around it. And it's got a bunch of equipment set up. And one thing we see is a camera. And we notice Ray's not wearing a mask. And um we can see like behind him Skyphos lit up. It's nighttime, and then we see just very deliberately sections of the city go dark and dark and dark. And then we cut to a public area A lot of people just look confused and it's dark and they're kind of lit up only by like their comm devices, but they have like no signal, and everyone's just starting to like whisper kind of panically to each other. And then a hollow display turns on, and we get the impression that these are turning on all over the city. And we see Ray's face on it. And he says, "Hello, Skyphos. Don't often meet like this." He holds up a data slate and then just passes it off to somebody else. He's like, "They gave me something to read, but I'm not reading this drivel. Every time I've talked to you, it's always been what I wanted to say. Not this nonsense about, oh, people of Bantraphyll, you've been lied to or whatever nonsense. So let's just talk brass tacks. I'm speaking for Gravitas. And I'm speaking to you because Peak Zenith has been involved in a number of questionable things that are hurting the city of Skyphos and the planet of Bantraphyll and potentially the entire solar system. I hope you're listening, by the way, because we're putting a stop to it now. I'm done being silent. I'm done waiting. We're all done waiting. So here's how it's going to be. We're responsible for the comms blackout. If you interrupt it, we have information about your dealings as Pinnacle and all of your dirty little deeds ready to be sent off to Solar Union Law. This little package waiting to be dropped, so don't even try it. As far as what's going to happen, well, he pauses, and then suddenly the building behind him, Bryn's building, explodes. We don't hear the explosion because we're so far away, but we can see like the shock waves of it and like the bright flash of light. He doesn't turn back and look, but it was definitely timed to happen like right there. He waits for it to kind of culminate to make its impression. And then he says, 36 hours. Evacuate the city. Peak Zenith, I hope that you help with that. Because we're blowing up all your shit. There are explosives hidden all over the city. You won't have time to find them all. And once that deadline ticks down, we're pulling the trigger. Skyphos is going to fall. Get out while you can. And then the feed cuts.
Beautiful. Well, I've got some questions for next time. You're muted, Lavender.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, your mouth was moving very excitedly, like you were saying something.
No, I just did this.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I'm just impressed that we were able to wrap up in 2 hours.
Yeah, this was a tight one. I want to know, do the rebels in fact pull the trigger?
See what happens.
I don't know. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. What about you, Lav? Let's go around.
Like I have a few in mind. One of them, like concerning Sash in particular, is I think Sash is out of a surprise, but are they out of surprises?
Interesting question. All right, Golden, what about you?
I want to see what happens. But as far as the question go, I want to know, Silver have a new army? Because that's part of being a landowner.
That's a good question.
Or any player in this game.
That's a good question.
My question is, Do Silver and Ray end up sword to sword again?
Ooh.
Because he's just outed himself as a rebel to the entire city.
Mm-hmm. It makes my life a little difficult, I'll admit that.
Oh yeah, because like you were publicly dating me also.
Yep. I've been publicly dating a lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
What happens when you're in a poly relationship, huh?
It's fine. It's fine. It's exactly what happens,
With
actually.
celebrities.
Literally. Yeah, that was my mistake right there. I mean, not really mistake, but mistake. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that's a wrap. We should do some quick shout outs, and then I can have dinner. I'll start with myself because otherwise we'll definitely forget. Hello, I am Kelsa. This is my channel. You can find me on Twitter at Kelsa. Twitch and YouTube, it's Kelsa Delphi. In addition to playing on this show, I play on other people's role-playing shows. I tweet about them when I am going live. Right now, my other shows have been on hiatus except for Tomb of Annihilation, which happens on Thursdays. It's a lot of fun. I'm a cat. That's really all you need to know. Lavender, what about you?
I released part of Consumed finally.
Yes.
It's called The Fractal Dream. It is a dream journaling game. I'm gonna hold up my prop like I've done the past 3 episodes. This is my dream journal. You play on both sides. It's great. If you want to play that game, it's available for like what basically comes out to be $1 a month. All my patrons get the game. So if you want to hit up my Patreon and get the game, go to patreon.com/darklavendervoid and you'll find the handout and you'll find a video of me explaining the game to you. And that has some good video design in it that I'm pretty proud of. The handout is also great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's great.
All right, Golden.
So I've discovered that I'm growing out my beard. I've discovered that if I comb up, it feels way better and looks way better. So I like that. You can zoom in on me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GoldenWH. We should be back to Stars Without Number this Sunday, hopefully for a while. Last Sunday, we weren't sure about if players would show up, so we ended up playing Ironsworn, which is a GM-less / everybody is a GM and fights over who's the GM RPG. My group really liked it, so check it out.
Nice. And Staney.
Hi, I'm Staney. When I'm not here being a rebel, I am over on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Staney, where I play no, I don't do that on my channel. I play games, video games, and I do art. And if you want to check out my art, I have a Patreon for that. I also have a store. You just Google me. You find me all the places. I did all the art for us. So that's the thing. So yeah, check me out. Do an art fight this year. Also, so you can fight me, artfight.net /Tilda
I'm also doing Art Fight this year, which is artfight.net /Tilda and
come draw our OCs.
Yeah,
Do it.
come draw our OCs, and we'll draw your OCs, and it'll be great, and everybody's OCs. And there may or may not be a lot of Silver and Ray art.
I mean, there's a lot. The other thing is I'm also in a Tomb of Annihilation game, but in a different one. We play at 1 p.m. on Fridays. I post about it on my Discord, and I host it on my Twitch channel, so I'm not going to bother to shout out the channel.
Cool. All right, well, thank you once again, everybody, for coming on out. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.